as you go through your corporate life, there may come a point in time where you've really got to rethink your education, your skills, your qualifications. Overall, I believe executives should be keeping their whole career pathway very fresh by keeping their professional development and their formal training right up to speed. And we see this all the time, that senior executives get up into the senior levels of the company and then they stop training, they stop getting educated, they stop learning effectively. And they only do it when they have to do it, and it's viewed as a sort of oh well, I've got to do this course. But you really have to take a totally different mindset to education and lifelong learning if you're going to be successful and able to pivot in the career pathways, as we will be required to do even more extensively into the future. I believe you're going to see a lot of executives, mid to senior executives, have to completely recalibrate their skill sets. And that might mean a completely different education. And I think the old days of doing an MBA or a master's, so to speak, sometimes it's relevant, but oftentimes it's just seen as a bit of a token gesture, to pop on the CV and say, well, I've got that. And it's all well and good, but you're going to need, I think, a whole raft of different skills going forward. The smart executives right now are training themselves in artificial intelligence. They were already fully up to speed with digital transformation. They were rethinking the whole engagement with customers and were getting themselves up to speed with how they could really pursue that, to the nth degree. And, the executives who take the time out, make the investment, make the time, and often sometimes underwrite the costs themselves and put their hand in their own pocket and pursue a particular course or a program to make sure that they're staying hot each year and they're building on their skills and their qualifications. Really, an executive should be doing something, at least one or two meaningful professional development activities each and every year. Obviously, with some executives who are in professional trades like, lawyers and accountants, you have a whole lot of professional development that's mandated by your industry and your code of practice. But, the reality is that there's just not enough constant learning and activity going on. And you really have to, owe it to yourself to put together those training development plans at the beginning of each year. What do you want to achieve? What skills need to be enhanced? What can go to another level of development? So it's very important that you have a bit of a game plan where this is concerned. I've made this a priority for myself. Each and every year I undertake another program, I take on another course. I'm constantly taking myself to another level of my professional development, and I'm looking at new skills. So, I might need to pivot slightly in my business. And this is what executives really have to, be aware of going forward and be prepared to do the hard yards, constantly recalibrating the skills and really assessing their longevity in the industry that they're working in and what skills they might need going forward. You have to future-proof yourself, and education is one of the best ways that you can do it. No one can ever take your education away from you, and so that's why it's such a valuable commodity. And it really does differentiate you from other candidates in the market who maybe haven't made that investment and haven't put the time and the effort into keeping themselves super hot, super current in their industry.